Hi, it's wolfenstormthecastle.com, and here on YouTube you know me as Epic Fantasy. And this is my latest tutorial. This is how to make a wire bonsai tree. Yes, that's not a real bonsai. You're probably looking at that and saying, wow, that's a beautiful bonsai. And, well, it is a beautiful bonsai, but it's actually made out of wire. It's not a real one. So if you do not have a green thumb and always wanted a bonsai, this is a viable option for you. In this tutorial, I will show you how to do that. And we just need a few basic materials. You're going to be shocked by this. Some pencil shavings, some wire. Almost any kind of wire will do. And if you have a variety of wire, it's even better, because then for the smaller parts, it's twisted in smaller parts. And some construction paper, of course. See that? And it does not have to be green construction paper. You can use a different color and then paint it green, which is what we did with this. So I will show you how to do that in this tutorial. I'll show you some alternatives for making them, just like this one's just got a wonderful little twisted trunk. See that? Just beautiful. And to give you some tips in the flowers. Now you're probably asking about those flowers. I'm not going to show you how to make these in this video, but I will refer you to the website. There is a web tutorial for this, and I show you step by step how to make those wonderful little flowers. So check down below for the URL to the web-based tutorial for this if you want to make those flowers, and for more information on how to make a wire bonsai like this. Thanks for watching my videos. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing to my channel. If you're not a subscriber, hit that button wherever it may be, up there or down there. Always lots of creative and interesting projects coming. I've got over 500 of them. I got 500 at least more coming. Thank you for watching. Let's do the intro, and let's launch into how to make a beautiful little wire bonsai tree. Dioramas, origami, catapults, and treasure stays, telescopes, terrariums, bonsai trees, and paper games, swords and shields, and real blacksmithing, model rockets, animation. I teach the art of real creation. StormTheCastle.com. Let's make something. Okay, get yourself some kind of a container, although this is only temporary. You don't have to secure the wire into the container. Do yourself some drawings of the bonsai you want by looking at pictures of bonsai, and you can use that drawing as a guide to help you to form your wire. You don't have to do a full trunk with this, the technique we're going to use, but twist yourself together a few wires to give you a thicker trunk. And then from there you start to work out thinner and thinner into the main branches and then the final branches. And what we're doing here is the final branches. This is aluminum wire, which is wonderful to work with. You can use copper wire. Steel wire is difficult, but would make for a very sturdy tree. So consider that. It's thicker at the trunk, of course, and then it branches out and branches out. The final branches, like you see there on the right, are single wires sticking up. So there's an aesthetic to it. You have to look at it and get a good look at it and move it around. And then make sure you don't stay flat, two-dimensional. You know, pull some towards you, push some away from you. Have it fill some space in 3 dimensions. You know, that's one of the biggest mistakes that beginners make. But it looks really good, and we're going to flesh this right out with other materials. So this is kind of like the wire frame that gives you as the general shape. Once you get that where you want it, looks good according to your drawing, now we can flesh it out with aluminum foil. Just like that. You make strips of it, pile together the strips, and then wrap that around the tree. And depending on what kind of tree you want, you don't have to make it nice and smooth. The crinkled aluminum foil actually gives a nice bark look. So give that some consideration depending on how you want your tree to look. Do most of it getting thinner and thinner as you move out. And the tips of those wires, those stay plain. Don't put aluminum foil on those. But it looks good. See? Just like this. Flesh it out. I like it. It's already starting to look like a bonsai. That's a real bonsai dish. You don't have to use one. You can use anything, any kind of a container you want to use, even a cat food can. So now let's paint this. I'm using gloss gel medium and dark chocolate paint. You mix that together almost like a pudding, and you know, you brush it on. Now, if you don't have the gloss gel medium, that's quite all right. You go right ahead and use paint. Put it on thick, but don't lose all of the detail of the crinkled aluminum foil. That's a beautiful bark look. Use various tools like the popsicle stick there, and flesh it out some. Now if you did use the gel, your tree is kind of shiny, right? Let it dry. And even when it's dry, it's going to be kind of shiny, but it does have a nice look. And then paint it again with just your brown. That gives it more of a matte look. M-A-T-T-E. But this tree is actually only temporarily connected to that pot, so we can work on it. Now we're going to do something called highlighting or dry brushing, and you're going to be amazed by this, how good this looks if you've never seen this before. Add some of your original color with some gray or some white. Mix them up, but not real thoroughly. You don't have to worry about it being that homogeneous. And then brush off most of it on a scrap of paper, and then lightly brush like this over the tree. And see how just the highlights come out? That's dry brushing. You brush most of it off on something, and then you brush on your tree, and it looks really good. So now we decided to bring the level of the tree up some, about level with the pot, edge of the pot like that, because we're going to pile the soil up to make a nice mound. So add some more foam in there. That pink foam is called Foamular. You can get it at home improvement stores. And then we secure it in its final location. You know, if you like bonsai, I actually have a lot of bonsai stuff on my website. And I got more coming. I just ordered 10 packs of seeds. I'm going to be germinating more bonsai. It is something that I do love. This one will last the longest though, and take the least care. So now we're going to work on the dishing and all of that stuff inside there, the terrain and soil. So we wanted to wrap just some painter's tape around it, some kind of tape around it, just to protect it from paint and glue and stuff like that. And then fill the dish with any kind of a flocking material you got. You could even crumple newspapers and put that in there. This is just to fill it. And to make it, it's like a mound, a little bit like a mound. That's Foamular, once again, that's been ground up with a rasp. And then we make the actual soil, and I'm using plaster cloth for this. You can do paper mache. Mix up 2 cups of water, 2 cups of flour, and strips of newspaper, and that'll work just as fine. So you make the soil surface with that, all the way around the whole plant, tree, fake tree. Once it's dry, paint it any color you want, green or brown, gray even, whatever you find aesthetically nice for your tree. And I'll show you, I'm going to show you a trick with pencil shavings. But for now, let's work on the leaves. Green construction paper works well. If you don't have green, use a neutral color and brush on green. And then hand draw out your leaves. And why you hand draw them out is so that they are not exactly the same. You want them to, each one to be a little bit different, because that will look less artificial. And then go ahead and cut a bunch of them out. Now let me show you a trick. There are 2 different ways to attach the leaves. This is a little bit of leather cord here. You can use wire. And what you do is you make an L shape with that wire. Attach one end of the L to the leaf. And then attach the other end of the L to the side of a branch. Like that. Just like that. Not to the very tip of the branch, but to the side of a branch. And that's important. It kind of hugs right up parallel to the side of a branch, and with the leaf being, perpendicular to the ground. Or excuse me, parallel to the ground. Just like that. Now the other way to do it is, you do that with some of them, half of them to 3/4 of them, and the rest of them you actually do no wire or no leather cord or anything like that. You put, see, I'll show you. Scrape off any excess glue. Hot glue is terrific for this. Now you just take a regular old leaf, and you don't put any wire on it or leather cord or anything. Just put some glue on it and attach that right to the tip of the tippy point of the branch. and let that dry. Only takes a few seconds. See, and that gives a really good look. So just a plain leaf on the very, very end of the branch. Hold it in place until it's set and you're good to go. So use those two different techniques to get a nice variety of leaf. Now, once the glue is dry, you want them to have a little bit of a sheen to them. So go right ahead and paint them. Again, that's kind of nice. If they curl, once they dry, you can pinch them a little bit to get the curl the right way. Now with brown paint, touch up any of the glue so it doesn't show. See, doesn't that look good? Some of these have been painted and some of them haven't been repainted yet. But here we go, let's repaint one. No, it's wonderful. You're going to see how wonderful it is the way those leaves curl. There's a really natural look to it. A little bit of a bright acrylic green. I like it. Oh, some of that glue has to be painted still. Brown underneath. See, doesn't that look good? So let's do the terrain around the tree. This is just pencil shavings. That's all it is. If you got a pencil sharpener, you have plenty of these. Put them in a cup. Add some water. This is a nice little diorama making technique. I've used this many, many times. You can see this for all kinds of stuff. And then add yourself some colored paint. In the case of grass, you add some green. Mix it up really good. And then spread it out on paper towels to dry. Don't put a fan on it, or you won't have any left. I actually did that once. I put a fan on it. I was like, whoa, all my pencil shavings are gone. You know, spread it out to absorb and dry. And then once it's dry, break it up so it's kind of consistent. And look at that, that's beautiful terrain. It's just wonderful. Do it yourself. So then you just put PVA white glue all over that green section you made, and then sprinkle on the pencil shavings. Doesn't that look good? Shake off any excess, and you are good to go. Looks good. Remove your tape. If you make this, you have got to send me a picture so I can put it on my website. I will put it right in this tutorial. Now, the flowers, totally optional. I do have if you want to make this particular flower, go to the tutorial in the link and you can see step by step how to make that flower. Make them up, add them on. That lilac color is really, really beautiful. That's it. This tree is done. Wasn't so hard, was it? Now, I want to show you the other little tree that I showed you in the beginning, and to tell you about a little bit different techniques on making fake bonsai. This tree is all twisted wire, right? There's no gloss gel on it. See how the twisted wire shows through? That's quite wonderful. And it's a cat food dish. Put some glue on there and just sprinkle on traditional woodland scenic terrain. And for the leaf, that's the clump foliage, which is like a railroad thing. You make trees with this stuff. So let's make a tree with this stuff. You can buy it on Amazon. You put some glue on it and then you attach it to the tips of the trees. It looks really good. I like that stuff. So you continue doing that. Have fun with that. I like it. Having some trouble with the hot glue there. Mini bonsai tree. Have fun with the details in the painting. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks for being a subscriber. If you're a subscriber, you never know what I'm going to send at you. I always get all kinds of creative stuff, from rocket launches to bonsai trees. There it is. I do like it. You have fun. Stop in my website sometime, stormthecastle.com, if you'd like to make things. Here's some more projects you might like. The top two are actual bonsai projects. The bottom two are origami projects. The origami pyramid on the left is very popular. The origami with the LED in it is very flashy. Thank you.